latest coming in on your screens as well. Supreme Court stays the demolition of Haldwani houses. Supreme Court goes on to say 50,000 people cannot be uprooted overnight. So there has been a stay on this order of the Haldwani houses, and Nalini's been speaking about this for a while now, that there could be a stay on this order, and Nalini has predicted, you were right, there has been a stay on this order. If you could elaborate further on what the Supreme Court has further gone on to say for further clarity.
The reason why the Supreme Court has stayed this order is, like I told you earlier, because if the demolitions are allowed to be carried out, then this entire hearing becomes meaningless. There is no point in having this hearing before the Supreme Court as to whether or not those eviction notices were even legal. But the second thing, and the more important thing that the Supreme Court has said while issuing this stay, is that you cannot just uproot 50,000 people overnight after just serving them a notice and not even giving them a due chance to challenge those notices before an appropriate authority. More importantly, until and unless you have rehabilitation plans in place for these 50,000 people to be moved to another area, it is not logical to go ahead and demolish them, demolish their houses, demolish their workplaces, their schools, several mosques and other worship places that are present in that particular area. So it's not logical for the government to do that, which is why they have specifically issued notices to the Uttarakhand government, asked them to come forth with their response on these petitions, which means that the Supreme Court is going to go into the nitty-gritties of this matter. They are going to go ahead and check the validity of these eviction notices that were served to these residents as to whether or not proper procedure was followed, and if these residents who are going to be...
Legal Eagle now joins us. Anisha, the big breaking story coming in is that the Supreme Court has put out a stay on this particular order, saying the demolition of Haldwani houses, there's a stay on this. You were inside the Supreme Court. What were the arguments made to and fro? Because the for and against, I beg your pardon, it's a relief. It's definitely a relief for the moment, and we can say it's a temporary relief coming in for the residents.
Well, yes, we can definitely say it's a big relief for now for these residents. The Supreme Court has noted that about 50,000 people are going to be affected, that there needs to be some sort of rehabilitation scheme that needs to be chalked out on this matter, because the Supreme Court has very clearly noted that you cannot start a demolition like this. You cannot send in paramilitary forces to evacuate people, to remove people, evict people in this particular manner. And therefore, the court has said that since this matter has been going on for a very long time, remember from the railways, the Additional Solicitor General has pointed out that since 2017, this issue has been going on, that Public Premises Act proceedings have been conducted. The court has said we are not putting a stay on the PP Act proceedings. You have to examine the rights and the liabilities.
Hold on right there. We're getting some live reactions coming in. The residents are speaking. We'll listen, and then after that, I'll come back to you, Anisha, on the date of the next hearing and a little bit of a direction whether the Supreme Court has given that or not. But before that, we're getting reactions from the residents who are relieved. All right, we'll go back to our reporter in moments from now and re-establish that connection to our reporter. Anisha, any indication? When is the next date of hearing?
Well, the next date of hearing is likely to be sometime in February. The court has said we'll meet after a month. It is likely to be after the 7th of February at this moment. But what the directions of the Supreme Court seem to be very clear. There is a stay on the demolition orders. There is a stay on the eviction proceedings of this matter, and I will just show you here as well. If you can see behind me now, these are a lot of people who've come in from Uttarakhand. They're here in the Supreme Court premises. If you are getting my visuals here behind me on the phone, I'm just going to show you. There are dozens of people from Uttarakhand who are here in the Supreme Court today. These are the people who would be affected by the demolition. Several of these people are petitioners here. आप भी उत्तराखंड से आए हैं, हल्द्वानी से आए हैं आप लोग? आप हल्द्वानी से पार्षद हैं। क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रोक लगा दी है? क्या कहेगा?
हम दिल से सुप्रीम कोर्ट का धन्यवाद करते हैं, इस बार का धन्यवाद करते हैं और अपने वकीलों का धन्यवाद करते हैं कि उन्होंने सच्चाई सामने रखी और सरकार का सरकार की तो
आप लोगों को कितने दिनों से डेमोलिशन के ऊपर मुद्दा चल रहा है? सालों से चल रहा है ये। रेलवे का नाम है, सरकार का सुनिए मेरे सवाल तो सुनिए। रेलवे का लैंड है या सरकार का, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की जमीन है कि रेलवे की जमीन है, उस पर भी क्लैरिटी लाने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सवाल उठाया कि किसका आखिर जमीन किसकी है, उसमें हक किसका है। आप लोग क्या वहाँ आप लोग वहाँ से क्या देखते हैं?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश पर उत्तराखंड हाई कोर्ट ने सुनवाई करी। हमारे कागज, हमारे सबूत सब रद्दी टोकरी में डाल दिए गए। हमें किसी को मौका नहीं दिया गया और सरकार ने जो चाहा, सरकार पिछली बार जब जो थी वो हमें जब खड़ी हुई थी, ये सरकार भी खड़ी नहीं हुई। वहाँ का मेयर अपनी जमीन, वहाँ का मेयर है वो भाजपा का है, वो उसने ये नहीं कह सोचा कि मैं कम से कम अपनी जमीन को अपना कहूँ। और हमें मकसद,
आप लोग कहाँ से हैं?
बनभूलपुरा
पार्षद है हल्द्वानी के? आपका नाम क्या है सर?
शकील सलमानी, ये है गुफरान, ये है उवैस राजा।
आप दोनों पार्षद हैं हल्द्वानी के, तो वहाँ पर क्या सिचुएशन है इस वक्त सर?
वहाँ पे सारी महिलाएं, बच्चे, हिंदू मुस्लिम सब मंदिरों में मस्जिदों में दुआ मांग रहे हैं। आप वीडियो देखिए, आप लगे
जी
कि और ये कह रहे हैं ऊपर वाले से उनकी दुआ
नहीं। तो मुझे ये बताइए, पब्लिक प्रेमिसेस एक्ट के अंतर्गत जो प्रोसीडिंग्स होती हैं, जैसे कि लैंड किसका है, जमीन किसकी है, उस पर जितने लोगों का मालिकाना हक किसी का है, किसी को लैंड लीज होल्ड मिला है,
पट्टे भी हैं, सरकारी स्कूल है, मंदिर है, मस्जिद है, वहाँ पे सरकारी चिकित्सालय है, वहाँ 2-3 प्राइमरी पाठशाला है, वहाँ पर सिविल लाइन बनी हुई है।
को बचाने के लिए तमाम हमारे मुस्लिम भाई सड़कों पे बैठे थे। आज मस्जिदों को बचाने के लिए तमाम हमारे हिंदू भाई सड़कों पे बैठे थे और आज तमाम हिंदू मुस्लिम इस न्यायपालिका में न्याय मांगने आए थे। मंदिर और मस्जिद को बचाने के लिए न्याय मांगने आए थे। हम लोग सब मंदिर और मस्जिद को बचाने के लिए।
तो मंदिर और मस्जिद की बात हम जरा साइड में रखते हैं सर। 50,000 लोगों का मुद्दा है, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी माना है कि लोगों को आप इस तरह से बाहर नहीं कर सकते।